Hello, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to End Times Talk. I hope you're all doing well. I have some insane information, the implications that go behind this thing after this has happened. It's insane, but there has been a Russian missile that entered Polish airspace and struck Poland and left a crater. Now, I don't know if this is intentional, but here's the thing, and you got to understand this that Poland is NATO, all right, and that Russia is BRICS. And I mean, we're going to get into it, but, the idea of the 2 feet, you know, that are made of iron mixed with miry clay, and we've discussed how iron can represent communism and clay can represent democracy because clay, we're made out of dirt, clay is dirt, and democracy is a government that's supposed to be decided by the people. And it makes perfect sense, but it also can represent, obviously, the idea of technology merging with man and what they're trying to do, the ungodly, integration of technology into human flesh. But it also has the political, because you got to remember when it's talking about the statue that Nebuchadnezzar saw, is talking about world governments, not decisions governments that are making. The idea of technology merging with human flesh is a decision that governments are making, right? Rather than a government itself. But if we look at communism and democracy, they have everything to do with world government. And they won't adhere to one another. And they're going to clash. And you have to remember that you have 2 feet that end up in 10 toes. And I truly have always believed that BRICS is 1 foot and NATO is the other. And you just had BRICS, and I don't even know if it's on purpose or anything like that, but this puts extreme stuff on edge. This is a big deal. And I'm not even going to sit here and be like, I told you so, but like I've been warning people from the very beginning of this channel, from the first couple of episodes, that my buddy who was ex-Illuminati told me that one of the next major things to happen is that Poland and Ukraine will be involved in a war with Russia. And because Poland is becoming involved, we know that World War III is approaching. And we also know because of Joel chapter 3 telling us that when Israel goes to war with Lebanon and Gaza, that as the armies of the earth gather in the Middle East, and they are, and they still are, that the day of the Lord would be near in the valley of decision. And the day of the Lord is near, the great and terrible day of the Lord being the great tribulation. So things are really close right now. We don't know how close. We don't know if it's a year or two. We don't know if it's 3 years. We don't know if it's 5 years. But we do know that we're extremely close and that this is a huge, huge step forward in what we would consider Bible prophecy being fulfilled. But regardless, it's sad that the earth and the political system is beginning to break down and deteriorate more and more. And so, it's all over the news, but you have smoke rising from where this Russian missile hit. And even, the news outlets over there are reporting, yeah, it's probably Russian, blah, blah, blah. There's been wars that have been started over last, we'll say, World War One was started over an American ship getting sunk by Germany. The Gulf of Tonkin incident with Vietnam, There's all these events over and over again that take place that suck us into world wars. But you can see here, the sirens are going off in Poland. And this was early on the 30th, and you have to remember they're on the other side of the globe, so they're a little bit different time zone. But nonetheless, this just happened, just really recent news. And this definitely is going to bring Poland. Sorry, hold on. This is definitely going to bring Poland into things. Most definitely. And um, there's a lot that can come from this. If there's any retaliation whatsoever, this could be where we see Poland get brought into this thing. And where you start to begin to see NATO and Russia go head to head. If this was malicious in any way and directed towards a certain area and not a misfire, which I don't think it's a misfire. It could be an inside job or, a false flag, but it's not a misfire. This was intended to make it into Poland no matter where it come from. I can tell you that right now because it did go into Poland. So, hold on 1 second, getting a drink here. There's a lot of implications from this. I don't intend to stay live very long. I just wanted to go over and let people know that this has happened. And to me, I'll be honest with you, it's not very often I hear news and I get goosebumps from the news that I've heard. I literally feel like it's like a movie playing out in front of me right now because I've been warning people, get ready, Poland will get sucked into this. I've been saying it for 4 years. I've been saying it longer than that, but I've been saying it for 4 years, saying that this was going to happen. And here it is happening. And again, I told you just the other day, I said I have set this channel up because I know the Illuminati plan. I was taught the Illuminati plan because my brother, who became a Christian, was born into an Illuminati bloodline family and was raised and knew the plan, taught me. And I'm sitting here trying to discern it to people and show people. There's some people that listen, but there's a lot of people that don't, I don't believe. But I said, as the way I've made this and created this channel is so that way over time it becomes more and more accurate. I don't know if this stuff will last into the Great Tribulation. I don't know if end times talk will continue to be a thing. I don't know if anybody even cared that much to preserve any of the information that I put out, but I can tell you right now, 110%, it will solidly begin to more and more come to pass because it's founded on the Word of God, and I know exactly what the Illuminati plan to do. And this is just another one of those pieces of the puzzle that I've been trying to show people, like Poland's going to get involved in this thing. How many people here, raise your hand, and I'm asking just, out of kindness here, raise your hand if you have heard me say Poland is going to get involved with the Russia-Ukraine war, and maybe type in how long you've heard me say that. I'm just curious how many people have heard me say that because I've been warning of this for so long, and I truly believe that this could be a catalyst that brings that about. I really do. And so I had to go live. I mean, I've been working hard on the documentary. I'm making huge progress. I got one more interview to do that's coming up really, really soon. Once that's done, I'll have every interview done. And I even did an interview for another documentary I'm doing that I've been working on because one of the island documentary, I am still working on that. I just had a huge pause in it because I'm waiting on a disc that has information on it to get brought into my possession. But the interview that I needed for that documentary, the island documentary as well, I just got done recently. So things are moving forward on a lot of different fronts. And, I'm really excited about it. I think you guys are going to be really intrigued to find out. Now, on a side note, I want to say this, that I don't know if you're aware, we did that documentary Interlocked. And, we exposed multiple networks that are involved in Interlochen School for the Arts. And over the next few weeks, you're going to see more and more in the news. Interlochen School for the Arts, they had 47 abusers, and about a third of them are deceased, okay? So not alive anymore. Even down to one of them being, from what I've heard, was one of Richard Nixon's advisors. So I'm correct in saying that this is a hub, that Interlochen was a pedophile hub. 47 abusers abused over 70 children, and it's all starting to come out because Interlochen did an internal investigation. They hired lawyers, brought them in, And they did this investigation. And this is just the people that have come forward. I personally know of someone that has not come forward in this investigation that Interlochen did, that was abused by two of the individuals that worked at Interlochen School. So I know that there is more abuse than 47 abusers, but can you believe? And my documentary came out before that thing. I called it before it happened, dude. And I will say that. I will say I told you so. That Interlochen was a den of pedophiles. And the news that's coming out now proves it. And I'm telling you, World War III is about to start. And I'm telling you, all these pedophiles are about to start getting exposed. Things are about to get wild, man. I'm telling you, it's really starting to come out. And I think you're really going to see an intense, crazy cord unravel from Interlochen. There is information that me and some of my constituents are working on that I don't have permission to release to the public yet. But you will be astounded to find out what is about to take place. You're going to be blown away. You're going to be blown away. Like, God's revealing stuff, and he's bringing new people into it that are fired up and ready to attack this pedophilic situation that's going on at Interlochen. But it's not just Interlochen, it's all over the place. So I wanted to bring that up real quick. Look in the news. Interlochen School for the Arts, 47 abusers, 70 children that had come forward, obviously adults now, but they had been abused as children because everybody at Interlochen is 18 and under. 18 and under. So, you know, it's a pretty serious situation. I ask that you go to my post section on my YouTube. The link is there. Please go share my documentary that I did and tag it, at the @ Interlochen Arts. And go post it on Facebook. Go post it on X. Go post it on Instagram. Do whatever you got to do. You have my permission to download it and share it. I don't even need, any credit for it. I just want Interlochen not to be able to come back from this thing. I really truly believe that the lawsuits that are about to take place are going to do this establishment in. We called for the destruction of the Jeffrey Epstein cabin at Interlochen, and Interlochen quietly destroyed the cabin. They bulldozed the cabin. I have evidence and proof that has already taken place. We called for that to happen. Here at End Times Talk, we as a community who banded together in prayer and in diligence, literally got Jeffrey Epstein's cabin destroyed. And the lawsuits that are coming from this, man, and it's not from my documentary, just from the lawsuits that are coming from the abuses that have taken back at that place, I believe are going to do Interlochen in financially. I don't think they're going to be able to come back from it. I don't think they're going to have the funding they once had. And I truly believe that if that documentary can get shared around, it's going to seal the deal. And there's more information that is about to come out. Mark my words. And I might not be the one releasing that information, but I will be the one promoting the person that's going to be releasing that information. And it's insane what's been discovered. Insane. So I'm hoping that, we get that combo punch in there, right when Interlochen, this pedophile organization, and that's what allegedly it is. All right. Allegedly, I mean, that you got 47 abusers working at an institution where multiple children are being groomed and abused. And I'm talking graphically abused. I'm talking like the worst of the worst. I'm talking like it's insane. It's bad. It's bad. And the report is out there. If you go to Interlochen, there is a report that's out there. So anyways, getting that aside, something else I want to take place. So not only is World War III here now, and I'm telling you, watch Poland close. But not only is World War III right on the verge, and I'm talking like explosion, this is what was needed for them to begin to create the chaos that will build the 10 kingdoms. And I want to make that very clear, all right? And you have a war between BRICS and NATO that's brewing, like I've been saying, man. And this is just more proof. A BRICS nation launched a missile and it hit a NATO nation. I mean, come on, people. Like, this is it. This is the big one. This is the big enchilada. Like, this is bigger than Ukraine. Ukraine is not NATO. Poland is NATO. And you better keep your eyes on Poland. And I've been telling you for 4 years that this was coming. At minimum, I've been telling locals longer. But I've been saying for 4 years to the public on YouTube that Poland will get involved in the Ukraine-Russia war. And eventually Ukraine and Poland will be absorbed by Russia. That is the outcome. Mark my words. That's what's coming. And it is all a part of the 10 kingdoms getting built. It is all a part of the 10 kingdoms getting built. Donald Trump's doing his part with Kingdom 1, Kingdom 6, and Kingdom... he's involved in a lot of the different ones, them forming. And especially Jared Kushner is too. Jared Kushner is involved in the 10 kingdoms forming. And I'll say this too. I've been doing research on Islam a little bit and digging into Islam and doing some research about the 12th Imam, or what's known as the Mahdi. This, you got this 12er Islam, and there is branches of it in the Shiite and the Sunni factions. And really the only difference between Shiite and Sunni is that one believes like these clerics should be the successors to Muhammad, that are like more gods, got inspired by Allah, their God, or the bloodline of Muhammad is the other. So you got Shiites one, Sunnis the other. It's about the lineage of the prophets that come from Muhammad in Islam. But at the end of Islam, you have the 12th Imam, the Mahdi, that everybody's heard of, but not a lot of people have heard about, the Dajjal. And I have a theory that's kind of developing here, and follow me here. So when you look up the characteristics of the Antichrist and you look at what the Antichrist is going to do and how he's going to behave and all that stuff, he lines up exactly like the Dajjal of Islam. All right, like the Dajjal, D-A-J-A-A-L, Dajjal, I believe is how it's spelled. I could be wrong. I don't have it in front of me. I'm just going off of memory here from stuff I was researching. And so there's also the 12th Imam, and, that also kind of does line up with the biblical Antichrist to a certain extent, when it pertains to this white horse and a platform of peace and all this stuff. But so this Dajjal is supposed to be this one-eyed, kind of like Odin, this one-eyed, and Odin has his own branch on the tree of Kabbalah, by the way. Odin is this one-eyed individual in the Norse mythology, right? And the Dajjal is supposed to be one-eyed as well. A scoundrel, lion, crook, false messiah, whatever. So I think that in Islam, if it plays out like Islam is saying, and I'm just putting it out here, okay, there's going to be a false Christ first. That there's going to be a guy that comes on the scene that the 12th Imam destroys, like a false Antichrist, that what would be considered a biblical Antichrist, okay? The 12th Imam rises up and destroys, right? But then if you look at the 12th Imam and some of the things with the 12th Imam, even coming on the white horse and all that stuff, there's parallels to the Antichrist as well. But the 12th Imam comes as this good guy. The Dajjal comes as this bad guy. Not a lot of people understand this about Islam. And I didn't quite understand it 110%. I've been doing a lot of research because I think Islam, there's a lot of parallels to what the Bible warns us of that Islam is actually fulfilling, right? And so, but I could never understand the difference between Dajjal and the 12th Imam. But the 12th Imam will be the Antichrist, but he's going to rise up as a good guy defeating the Antichrist. And he's going to, I believe that that Satan has it prepared that he's going to have a false Antichrist put in a position so that way he's going to have a good guy, pretend good guy, come and appear in the clouds, right? Or with Project Bluebeam or whatever, and make this other guy defeat the Dajjal, all right? What would be, a false Christ, and then the Antichrist defeats the Dajjal to make himself look like he was Jesus coming in the clouds. All right? I'm just saying. All right? It seems odd. And I wanted to make Christians aware of it, that here's the thing, and this is what I'm concerned about when it comes to our faith in Christianity, is that I think some people that are believers in pre-tribulation rapture, which I am a hardcore believer in the pre-trib rapture. But if you saw a figure, even though it wasn't time for the actual Great Tribulation just yet, arise for about a year or two, right? Just saying, just putting this out there, that looked like the Antichrist, would people think that the rapture, pre-trib rapture, wasn't real? And that they have this guy that comes in all of a sudden and swoops in, and to try to discourage people into living lifestyles that are of depravity. And then, what is the first? Think about it this way. And I'm just going to say something here, and this is, just follow me here, right? This is all speculation and theory. But what if, all right, you have people that believe that they got left behind, but really didn't, because the pre-trib rapture hadn't happened yet, because the Great Tribulation hadn't truly started yet. And what if they begin to fall back into old sins because they're like, oh, well, whatever, whatever. It's whatever. And so this is all just theory. And again, speculation, theory. This is not biblically based or anything like that. It's just that when I was looking into what Islam believes, I'm like, I wonder if they have that prepared. I wonder if they're going to try to pull something like that off. And it's just a possibility. And so I'm like, man, I got to say something, next time I go live. So I wanted to put that out there. And again, theory, speculation. I don't believe it's going to happen that way. But I believe that you don't even need the Dajjal. This guy, 12th Imam, he comes on the scene. He's going to come like he's the knight in shining armor, man, no matter what chaos is happening. Because the 12th Imam is the main guy. He's like their actual Messiah, right? And that would be the biblical Antichrist. So I want to make people aware of that. But, so anyways, the bigger thing I wanted to discuss today again is that, Poland was hit by a Russian missile. I don't know if it was on accident yet. It says heavy Russian assaults have pushed into Ukraine's far west region. A missile launched from the conflict zone landed inside Polish territory. Tensions spike across the border as the war expands. So right there, and there's the actual thing from the satellite view. It doesn't look charred at all, which is weird. It looks like a hole's been dug. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know about y'all, but I guess dirt would fly up and cover things. I guess I don't know of anybody that knows anything about explosives or anything like that, but if you could comment and say the ground would be charred or it wouldn't be charred, but I don't see any charring on the ground. That's the only thing. And here again, you got the hole from the side here. So yeah, it sounds like this just happened, or it was made to look like it's happened, which is even scary because it means they will connive their way into getting involved with Russia. And it would be NATO that's the aggressor, trying to make it look like Russia's the aggressor. So either way, this is bad. Either way, it's bad. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk confirmed a maneuvering ballistic missile landed in fields in Lubin Voivodeship. Hey, I said that all right. Voivodeship. Poland, resulting in no damage or casualties. The incident occurred during a massive Russian attack across Ukraine near the Polish border. So they're acknowledging it maybe was a misfire and all that stuff, but it puts things on at tension. So, but either way, regardless, this I think advances and it shows that there's something brewing. I believe, I really do. Like, you don't just misfire. It could have even been Russia shooting it at and hoping, or not Russia, but Ukraine shooting it and hoping that they would hit something inside Poland or hit a house or something like that and gain casualties. You know what I mean? To piss Poland off. I know Poland is already sick of the EU. They've wiped their feet. The Polish prime minister wiped his feet with the European Union flag. I saw a video of it myself. And that primes them to join Ukraine. They might just say, hey, look, Ukraine got defeated. Well, we'll just join you, Poland, because we don't like the European Union anymore, and we hate NATO. Everybody kind of, like, NATO's real rocky right now. NATO is super rocky right now. And there's some people that believe that NATO's kind of falling apart a little bit. And if that's the case, there's new alliances, like 10 of them maybe, that are going to get ready to form. So pay close attention to Poland right now in the next coming couple of months. I think there's a lot that's about to take place, and I think it's very significant. And so I'll be looking into this further, and I will go live in further videos to give you my take on what's happening as things progress. If you haven't subscribed here before and you're just coming and you're checking it out, we talk about biblical prophecy. We talk about world news and how it aligns with biblical prophecy. We believe Jesus is coming soon to get his people before the great tribulation. We believe that, anyone can be saved. There's nothing that you have to do besides believe in your heart, confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. Jesus is the only way to heaven, we believe here. We believe the KJV Bible is the solid translation of the Bible that we have for the English versions. And, so there's, just kind of a foundation so you understand who we are. But we also talk about conspiracies, and we also absolutely expose pedophile satanic death cults that are trying to hurt children. And we make documentaries pertaining to those. So, please go check those out. And if you want to support my work, I have a PayPal, and all of that goes to, making the documentaries happen for equipment and paying the bills to keep the lights on, things like that. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope y'all have a good afternoon. May God bless you all. May he keep you. And please don't forget to go out and change this world in which you live.